The rich. Do you think you can tell rich people just by looking at them? I think I can. There's a kind of bodily integrity to them, a lack of openings or gaps, a smoothness. My wife and I sold our house, so we have some money finally, and I wonder if I look like that very occasionally. I wonder if the rest of the world looks at us like that, Americans. Better than being poor. So you can see what people are sometimes and their being together or not, like you can look in a garden and see the mind of the gardener, which has nothing to do with the words hawthorn, silver birch, cytisus, scoparius, populus, picea, abies, juglans regia, but then you could, with enough training, look at the words themselves and see ancestors behind them in those letters and sounds. Drowning in understanding and silence. They have an ocean of meaning. When I was young, I went to different sorts of other places, as if drowning in an understanding of what mind is. I get a little scared. I sense that it is a dangerous God. Silence is the mark of one's God, the old field, rotting of ideas about confusion. It's amazing how we are already clear like a weird point in time. She envisions the environment in different forms of silence. They went to spy on watered-down mystical traditions. She could sense that control meant to think now, some kind of imaginary society. Death is real, and it is an accident, more so because it is imaginary. Traditional rhythms are medicine, even if you don't know the meaning. Some freedom from movement, meaninglessly about to happen. Everything is fun. Everything is fun again. This is what art is. This is what art does. I am so happy. I am glad that art can be light and superficial. Decency versus aggression. Beauty, power, then it was loud. He had a dream. Ideas, numbers appeared. He stole the various owl of purpose. They stole ideas of the guest, the decency of the divine, an aggressive place and time. It pulsed inside them like a beautiful dream, deep cavernous eyes, and beautiful flowing songs. Beyond worlds, many words. Life was hard. It was healthy and reasonable. The walls were fragile. They grew branches, but it was the morning. All time tends to become a function. All time tends to become functional. Somehow this impacts the outer. In some other way, it is loud with insects at the same time. Society, loud with ancestors. They have a bonfire of sympathy, using energies as a distraction. Somehow a good practitioner is sad. The outmoded old ways, they circle around culture. Same thing. I read the same poem many times, and each time it is different. But that is not so important unless talking about constant change is something we're going to focus on right now. It's when you go to Dunkin' Donuts in a new place and every Dunkin' Donuts across the country is the same place, a portal to that same very experience of being in a place. Are poems the same? Maybe good ones are. Is it good to have art contradict itself? It is a matter of how it does this. Does it communicate the uncanny? Does it alter your body? Or does it just confuse? If it just confuses or just clarifies, then it is much less. Knowing a language. The storm is the interplay. It was a rough magic. But it's an expensive, ruined house. Writing like this, he saw words. It was bubbling up in the guest of time. He'd married a different woman, a different person, a language. He had a dream. She disappeared. She reappeared. There was a dream of the way. She looked out and the edge of town multiplied. Criticize. For anyone to tell a great artist, a really great one, whoever that might be for you, to do the right thing is utterly crazy and probably also unhelpful because it would stop them from doing what they do, which is create great art. Art which disappoints occasionally and is flawed, but great art nonetheless. The way a cow eats grass and shits out dung. Who would criticize a cow? Who would look at the fires of dried mango leaves, old brooms, garbage, and realize that they are their own thing and the smell of smoke from the road is pleasant? A life of magic. A life of magic breaks the world's laws. Break the world's laws. The ocean is loud. Build a prayer. It is a human. The waves stole an owl. The words are a symptom of discomfort, but nature is kind. Understanding is expensive. Some number of eyes had conquered them. It's cloud time, a cloud of eyes, a life of magic. Break the world's nature. Make a bonfire of dreams. We are imperfect, but we owe it to the world to be good people above great artists. There is enough great art already anyway. We trust illness when we shouldn't. We trust pointlessness. We trust meaninglessness. The death horse had beautiful blood. They were nice, and it was the ancestors, meaning time. It was time that manifested. The words are a symptom of alienation in the ancestors. The forms come alive.